So if we have these three different styles of content that stimulate relatability, trust, and conversion, a sale is inevitable. It is literally inevitable if we're consistent with these three different pillars right here. So you have the top of the funnel down packed. You're getting new eyeballs on your offer every day. Cold traffic's hitting your inbox. Cold traffic's hitting your likes, your story sequences. They're seeing your content. What's next? We need to make sure the nurturing is on point because this is one of the most important factors in this business model right here. So with nurturing leads, there's so many different components that we have to check off the checklist in order to make sure that we're maximizing revenue and maximizing conviction with this model. So off the cold traffic, immediately we have authoritative exposure. And what this is right here is we establish our presence as an industry leader or an expert in our field towards our ICP, right? So as soon as your ICP comes on your Instagram, they see your bio, they see exactly what you do, they see the pain point that you help them fix, and they see your credibility within 30 seconds. So if your bio's being 100% optimized, your call to action is being 100% optimized, your redirect link is being 100% optimized, your credibility vol is being 100% optimized, and your long form YouTube funnel is being 100% optimized, conversion is inevitable. It's literally inevitable. That's why it's so important to follow a specific framework in order to establish the right type of authoritative exposure whenever our ICP lands on our page. So the IG story sequence only works if you're consistent and you're tracking your data. So you need to be tracking your drop off percentage so you know what's working and what's not. Most people in the credit space think that the IG story sequences are redundant, and I highly disagree. I've actually closed $3,000, $5,000 deals off these IG story sequences. And the best part about the IG story sequences is that every single time that you post one of them, it gets your ICP 1% closer to conversion. So if you knew that statistic as a business owner, it would almost be stupid not to have these on your profile 24/7. Then the top of the funnel posts and the middle of the funnel reels. This is where a lot of people slack off, and I honestly can take full accountability because I am one of those. I've definitely been there to where I've been lackadaisical with the middle of the funnel reels that I'm supposed to be posting in my main grid top of the funnel post. The crazy part about the top of the funnel post and the middle of the funnel reels is that I've invested $10,000, $15,000 into mentorship, and they tell me to stay in front of your audience, get in front of their eyeballs every single day, post multiple times a day, 3 to 5 times a day. And the reason why that's flawed is because the same way this strategy right here can help you convert and help you close clients and make more money in your business, your content can also work against you at the same time. So for example, with that same analogy, you're worried about hitting a KPI of posting a certain amount of times a day. So you're focused on quantity over quality. So that right there, if you post the wrong thing, that's going to turn a buyer into a non-buyer literally by one wrong post. So that's why ideation and quality is way more important than quantity. So my biggest piece of advice with the top of the funnel posts in the middle of the funnel reels is to focus on quality over quality because that's what causes conversion. Then we have the YouTube converting funnel. Honestly speaking, I was super against implementing this in my own business because I just hated the idea of content creation, the idea of me posting a YouTube video. But as soon as I implemented it, as soon as I started posting YouTube videos directly tailored to my ICP, my conversion rate went up by 5x. So honestly speaking, if you're in the YouTube space, you need to have a YouTube channel. You need to have a hub to where your ICP can go ahead and look at long form videos, long form content, to identify your offer and create a connection with you. And another way you can look at YouTube long form content is like this. You're watching a movie. In the beginning of the movie, you're introduced to these new characters that you have no idea who they are. And as the timeline goes on, you progressively build a connection with the character and it almost feels like you know them personally. So if we put that analogy into business and you put enough long form content in the eyes of your ICP and they progressively get to know you, progressively get to know your offer and everything that you've done for other people, so your credibility, they're going to buy from you. It's literally just a matter of when. Another thing I wanted to stress is understanding your ICP and understanding your market. You need to study your ICP, their pain points, what their goals are, their ambitions, everything. You need to know every single detail about your ICP if you want your content to convert at the rate that you need it to in order to cash collect. And as far as content goes, it is imperative that you implement these 3 different strategies of ad creatives: credibility-based, value-based, and education-based. So with education-based creatives, this is the highest conversion mechanism. So like an example of this is like, oh, getting approved for a home doesn't take a year. Implementing these few strategies can help you get approved within 3 to 5 months. The wrong way of doing this is, here are 3 tips to achieve a 700 credit score and X, Y, and Z. So a hook to education-based creative is a controversial statement breaking a limiting belief, right? So AKA your unique mechanism. Then we have the credibility based creatives, right? And these right here, they create the highest amount of trust, right? So an example of this is within 3 months, I removed 20 negative accounts off of Suzanne's report and helped her build her credit, which got her approved for X, Y, and Z. The wrong way to do this is I have over 50 client testimonials and I've helped fund over X amount of dollars, X, Y, and Z, right? With credibility based creatives, it's important that we lead with undeniable social proof and not with a title. Then we have the value based creatives, which create the highest amount of relatability. So, for example, you keep getting denied for X, Y, and Z, but your credit is under a 700 with negative accounts on your report. Here's why: X, Y, and Z, right? And the wrong way of doing this is if you have bad credit and you're looking to do X, Y, and Z, which is what 95% of the industry is doing. 95% of the industry are posting their ad creatives, their value based ad creatives the wrong way. So, what do you think is going to happen if you change the format and you utilize this right here? If you utilize this structure right here to post your value based ad creatives, you're going to stand out more than 95% of your competition in the industry, in a need based industry. What do you think that's going to do to your conversion rate? So if we have these three different styles of content that stimulate relatability, trust, and conversion, a sale is inevitable. It is literally inevitable if we're consistent with these three different pillars right here. So once you have the top of the funnel unlocked, you got your ads up, you're sending cold traffic to your offer, your ICPs are following you, they're hitting your call to action, they're watching your long form YouTube videos, they're getting nurtured by your IG story sequences and your middle of the funnel content, and it's the bottom of the funnel. This right here is where a lot of people miss out on a lot of cash collectors. And like I say in every video, this is where I have all my converting content. So imagine if these people are in your funnel, they're getting nurtured by your middle of the funnel content. So they're seeing your IG story sequences every day. They're your middle of the funnel content, your main grid post. They're seeing all this, and now they're seeing your retargeting ads, and they're seeing your bottom of the funnel, which is way more specific to their pain. Your ICP, this is where they convert, right? So for example, we ran $43 ad spend on this one retargeting campaign, and we got $1.90 cost per message. $1.90 cost per message on a $2,000 offer. You can see why this business model works so well for us and why it works so well with our partnered companies. So we literally wake up in the morning with an abundance of nurtured leads that are waiting to be converted. You see what I'm saying? So it's really as simple as that. Once you learn how to send the right type of traffic to your offer and you understand how to nurture leads the right way, you're going to make money. It's simple as that. That's all you need to know.